Hello, George Mason. Welcome inside the press box. I'm Matt Newman.
And I'm Nathan LaPierre.
As you can see today, we have a very special guest with us. I'll let him introduce himself right now.
Hi, my name is Marko Gujancic. I'm a senior, a basketball player here at Mason, majoring in finance, and I'll be spending with you sometime today.
Yeah, so he's agreed, graciously agreed to do an interview with us for the press box. So let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, we're going to talk about some about the Mason basketball, but also a little bit about some of your NBA favorites and predictions for this upcoming year. So I guess the first thing we should start off with would be, this is an exciting season for us because we do have a new coach in Dave Paulson. How do you think that's going? How do you think he's gelling with the team? You think he's implementing some good strategies for us?
Well, it's different from what we've been seeing a few years back, and I think guys are getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the new culture and new system is very good. Everybody are open to it. Everybody have a high expectations and enthusiastic about it. So I think we're on the right track. We're doing everything we can every day on a practice, on and off the court. So I think we'll be very good.
Okay, so definitely some differences, but everyone seems to be embracing the new culture. That's great to hear. Yeah,
for sure.
This is something I've always been really curious about because we go to the basketball games all the time. There's a lot of enthusiasm. I love being in the front row and everything. And when you score, sometimes people in the audience will be, they'll do a Marco Polo chant, or they'll say "for Serbia." I've always been kind of curious, what's your opinion of that? Is it just cool, or
For Serbia, of course. I mean, I'm proud. I'm coming from Serbia. It's my country. I'm proud of that. So I'm always happy about it. For Marco Polo one, believe it or not, before I came to US, I had, I didn't hear that many times that. So I was, at the beginning, I was confused. But then after that, I got used to it. So, I mean, I know it's a game and everything. So if people want to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything against that.
All right, so he's just rolling with the tide over here.
With the tide.
Sounds good. So obviously people are saying the Force Serbia and the Marco Polo are on your side, but when you go play at some of these other passionate teams in the A10 with like a VCU has a very passionate fan base, how do you deal with those heckling crowds, those people booing you?
Well, we're trying to stay focused before every game. Yeah, you take a time before the game. Let's say a few hours before, you're trying to get in your own zone, listen to your own music, trying to focus on a scouting report, on a game plan. Prepare yourself for just for the game. So when you get on a court, I mean, if you think about what other people say, how they look at you and everything, you'll never be performing the way you want to perform. So the main thing is just stay with who you are, stay focused, and then after the game, you can deal with that. But those 40 minutes and during the halftime, we're all in. So I mean, I hear a bunch of stuff, but not that I'm responding to it, or I try not to respond. I'm just trying to stay focused on the game.
Okay, it's all about that mental game out there on the court.
Exactly. Now you're a senior, as you said. It's your fourth year here. You've been through a lot of games, and we were curious to hear, what is your favorite Mason moment?
I had a lot of great moments at Mason here. Of course, one of them, let's say the most memorable one would be for the first game in Mason, Jersey, official first game opener against UVA that we played here my freshman year.
Oh, I was there at the game.
Yeah.
That was very, I think we won by 1 or something.
Yeah, we won closely, but I think at first it's a big win for us. Second, it's my first game. Third, it was just packed gym. The atmosphere was great. The crowd was great. They were cheering for us, and I mean, one of the memories that always stick out to my mind is every time somebody asks me, of course, that game. It always pops out of my head.
Yeah, well, makes sense.
Yeah.
So a question I've had, I've noticed that when you look at different leagues, across the world, every one of them seems to have a little bit of a different style. How would you think the Serbian style basketball compares to the more American version?
Well, I would say more European comparing to American because American is more run and gun, much faster, much more athletic. Over the time, as I've been here, I can see they're trying to implement much more strategy, and they have a stronger game plan to just be more prepared of the game of opponent and what our plays are going to be. But Europeans are much more focused on the plays that teams run, the strategies. It's not that fast and maybe not that physical and athletic, but it's fundamentally sound. Like it's very has a strong base, and it says the European players are much more skilled comparing to Americans, but it's because we do practice a lot, much more. Because there is no rules, like NCAA has rules of certain amount of hours every week, and pre-seasons during the season, post-season. We don't have those rules. I mean, you can practice there as much as you want. So it's a little bit slower, but I think it's fundamentally more sound. So it has differences, but it both have its benefits and disadvantages. So
yeah, all right, very, very interesting.
And speaking of pro ball, Matt and I, we're from Virginia. We're kind of homers. Our favorite team is the Wizards. I know you watch the NBA as well. So we were wondering, what is your favorite NBA team?
My favorite NBA team is definitely San Antonio Spurs. I mean, they're just playing that fast European basketball. There's not that much attractiveness in dunking and everything, but you have a great system. They're sharing the ball. They're passing the ball. They're continuously winning, and they're just a huge franchise that always have a success. And I love that style of basketball. I can watch them day and night, just the way they share the ball, the way they shoot. I love it.
I mean, when you're talking about, like the difference, like European basketball being more fundamentally sound, I feel like the San Antonio Spurs, I mean, they have the big fundamentals.
And they're a very international team, right? They have players from like 10 different countries or something. Yeah.
True.
Yes, so I think I already know the answer to this, but who do you think is going to win the NBA championship this year?
Well, I would like to believe that Spurs are going to win. I like to believe in that. But also there are much better teams. Better teams in a way that they have great players. I mean, Oklahoma City, they're just great. Whatever play LeBron, you always expect them to win. So, I mean, it's just a strong league. Each team is packed in every single position. So I like to believe it's going to be San Antonio Spurs, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone else does.
So maybe like OKC
OKC,
or
Cleveland.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Matt?
Well, obviously I'm thinking the Wizards, but he's not a fan. It's all good.
The Wizards.
I like Wizards too. I like Wizards too. I like them too, but it's just that I'm not used to watching them before I came to East Coast. I spent 1 year at the West Coast, so I was watching their Lakers and Clippers and mostly Western Conference, and then I came here on the East Coast now. Different teams, but I like Wizards.
Yeah.
All
right, you hear that, Wizards? Marco likes you. You gotta do great for him.
All right, yeah.
So I guess one last question related to the NBA. Who do you think your game compares to an NBA? If you were to model your game after an NBA player.
Well, I was never playing or practicing to model my game based on somebody. I mean, I know my limits. I know where I'm good at. I know where my weaknesses, where my strengths. So it's I can't really just model it. But I like to watch Boris Diaw from San Antonio Spurs. The French guy. I love how he plays, and he's not that much athletic. Not to lie, I'm not athletic either. But
don't sell yourself short, Marco.
But we can. I like watching him.
Okay,
so you can say that. I compare my game to him, but just because I love the way he plays.
Okay, that's awesome.
Great. One last thing we were wondering is, how often do you get asked for your signature?
I mean, when we're having camps and basketball camps, like Coach Folson's camp, and kids stop by after the game. That's when it happens. So
well. Why don't you go ahead and sign this for us? Just make it official on the press box. You know how it goes. We gotta be those
Anything for you
ultimate
guys.
fanboys. Anything for he's a fan.
Oh yeah.
Anything.
Well, we know you got a busy, schedule between classes and practice. So, just one last thing. If you could give one message to the Mason Nation before you leave today's broadcast, what would it be?
I would just say I hope we see you guys a lot this year in the crowd. We'll give 100% ourselves, and we'll try to have a great season and bring a lot of victories. But most of all, just give what we got. So we hope to see everybody. In the stands.
So I mean,
Wow.
our basketball team's giving all they got. We got to give all we got.
Exactly.
So we hope to see you, Mason Nation, November 13th. This couple Fridays from now, playing against Colgate. We're going to see Marco and the rest of our guys ball out, so we're looking forward to it.
We expect to see the stands packed.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
thanks so much, Marco, and
Yeah.
thanks,
Welcome.
Mason
Thank you guys
Nation.
for
Definitely
having me.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Um,
And thank you, Mason Nation, for joining us inside the press box. I'm Nathan LaPierre.
and I'm Matt Newman.
Press on, George Mason.
Press on. Press on.
All right.